What's going on, YouTube? I am on a 2-hour boat ride right now, so forgive that loud ass humming, but this is pretty much the quietest place I could find to make this video. I want to talk about a couple of things. For one, I'm going to talk about people in the real world, not the virtual world. You know, people that you see face to face, that have the balls to fucking lie to you right to your face, and then when you catch them in that lie, they go, oh man, you know how it is, brother. You know how it is. I needed what I needed, so I had to take from you. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You know what? I had lived. There was a time in my life, I don't know, we're rolling up on almost 20 years ago that time was, where if I wanted what I wanted, weren't nothing safe. That includes cars that were running, that includes bank tellers, that includes convenience store workers. So there was a time where I did whatever the hell I wanted, whenever the hell I wanted. And boy, have I found out how fucking wrong that was. Like 30 times over in the past 20 years have I found out. My whole way of thinking was fucking wrong. So I've taken steps in my life to not be that person anymore, you know? Don't get me wrong, I come into your house and hang out with you, and I'm not eyeballing your house. But I had no problems walking into, like, say, a Target or a Walmart and loading up one of their freaking duffel bags filled with as many DVDs as I possibly could, have somebody parked on the other side of the fire escape doors, kick them open, set the alarms off, take the bag to a fence, go sell it, get $400 or $500 and go spend it on, you know, stuff. Alright? So I don't really have much patience for somebody who comes into my house, hangs out with me like they're my friend, when in reality they're just scoping, seeing what they can take. I don't even have a cell phone right now because of that shit. The kid stole my cell phone. And he borrowed a bunch of money off of me and he fucking bolted, right? So naturally, what do? I go door to door and try to find your ass, fuck you up, right? And all of his friends are like, oh my God, what are you, crazy? You didn't know what he was up to? I said, no, I didn't know what he was up to. I thought he was my friend. Like, so, you know, I don't know, just that being said, on that note, like, we get lied to enough face to face, man, one way or the other, whether it be the bank lying to you and saying, no, this is policy, we have to take this from you. And you say, what are you talking about? I thought when I fucking opened the account, I said I want no chance of any kind of overdraft. Now you're telling me my account's overdrafted? Well, that's funny, because if I go to an ATM and I try to overdraft, I ain't getting nothing. But some other company says, oh, well, he owes us money. So they say, oh, yeah, well, we'll go ahead and pay that bill, and then we'll charge him the money for the bill, and we'll charge him $30. I'm like, nope, told you in the beginning, didn't want that, didn't want no option of that. You know, lies. I'm sick of the goddamn lies, man. I live my life, I don't have to lie about any subject at any time, ever, for any reason, to anybody. I just don't have to do it, and it feels fucking great. It feels great. Even if I do something that is wrong or whatever, and someone says, hey, did you do that? I say, yup, absolutely I did, and this is why I'll own it, because it was my choice. You need to own those choices that you make, right? You know, whatever, keep your eyes open. Just keep your eyes open, because I hate to say it, I say this shit to my own kids, you know, and I'm like, yes, they are out to get you. Yes, most people are out to get you. There's plenty of people that aren't, but there's plenty of people that are. There's plenty of people that see you coming and see you as a fucking target. You know, I'm sitting here thinking about this kid here, right? And basically what happened was, he must have burned every bridge that he had, except me, and maybe a few others, and realized, oh shit, that's right. I haven't seen him in a while. Why don't I stop by and be friendly with him? As soon as he's not looking, I'll boost his fucking phone, because I can get $100 for that. You know, and like I said, I already got into it. You know, I lent the kid money, but I was like, look, I cannot afford to do this if I don't get it back. I said, I don't mind helping you out, but I have to get it back, like right away, or else I can't do it. Oh yeah, no problem, dude, no problem, thanks. Obviously just said whatever the fuck he had to say to get what he wanted. And fuck Matt, fuck him, who cares, he ain't shit. He makes money, he'll get money, you know what I mean? That's the logic. Oh, he's got a job. Like, dude, I work hard for my shit. I seriously, to just get like ganked straight up, just boosted from. Well, can't complain too much, because what did I just tell you guys? I just told you guys that 20 years ago that it was that I made my choices. So I get mad, but at the same time I'm like, well, I guess I have a certain degree of that coming. Maybe even dished out throughout little amounts to the rest of my life. I don't know the fucking setup. But I'm pretty sure I still owe a little something one way or the other to So I was watching that debate with Jeranism and that girl Amy. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Jeranism, I never really had anything against the kid. I just feel that now he has surrounded himself with people that are not helping his cause. Could be wrong, I don't know. But I listened to some of that debate the other day, and I had to just shut it down because it was fucking crazy. It was ridiculous. And you guys know, I'm gonna forget his name. It's like James Munger, James. I'll remember who it is. I'll put it down below. I actually got hooked up on his channel through Richie from Boston. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but they're pointing out a lot of things. They're pointing out a lot of things about the weather. They're pointing out things about this fucking Invest 99L storm. Invest. I thought those things were like named after people, generally women, right? It's just, is it an investment? Are they gonna roll through the state that my son lives in and just fucking level it with weather? I mean, fucking hope not, man. Hope not. So here I am. I don't have a phone. I'm on a boat using a Wi-Fi signal, and I'm making this video. So last night, I'm on somebody else's channel that had a live stream, and what they did is they live streamed this fucking debate with Jeranism, and then they kind of talked over it, paused it from time to time. Well, what I saw was Jeranism was just fucking, Jaren was just surrounded. He was just surrounded by fucking opposition on this thing. Like, you got people saying, well, see, this is what happens. Your feelings get in the fucking way. Okay? This is what happens. When they come up with a story like Sandy Hook. Now, I can go onto Facebook right now, and I can look back at the time when that happened and see the post that I put. And the post that I put was something in the neighborhood of maybe the person or the people who pulled that off should be, wheeled into a classroom and fucking blown away. I said something on that idea because I was fucking misinformed. I was going with what the news said because at that time, I'm not going to say I believed everything the news said, because at that time, even before that, there was a group of people, and I lived out in Boston, there was a group of people out in Boston that were sticking stickers everywhere that said 9/11 was an inside job. People would stop and talk to you on the street about this shit. 9/11 was an inside job, and this is why. So I already had like an inkling. Okay, but when you hear about a kid going into a school and just blasting everybody, it's like, well, back then, I would take it at face value because what the hell? Why didn't it happen? You know what I mean? That is until you look into it. And when you look into it, you got Gene Rosen, you got a couple of the parents that were at like news conference. He didn't know he was on the air yet. Big smile. Same parent is in a limo or whatever, leaving the funeral. Big demonic looking fucking smile. But it's not just that. It's the inconsistencies in the story. I don't have to tell you guys, okay? I don't have to, because that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is in this debate with this Amy bitch she's either heavily indoctrinated, and she is the epitome of what they want, right? Or she's paid, you know, and it could go either way. But these guys were pouncing on him. They're like, so one dude's like, don't you fucking dare tell me that my friend didn't die in 9/11. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. How can you put one exactly beside the other? You know, and I heard it. Jaron was trying to have his voice be heard, and he said, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't say it didn't happen. What I said was, nobody died in Sandy Hook. And what I said was, 9/11 was an orchestrated fucking event. Not saying anybody didn't die, but I believe too, nobody died in Sandy Hook. No. There's just way too many inconsistencies with that story to think that that's what happened, right? So, but I noticed that that's what they were doing with this debate. They were bringing it into a stupid direction on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, the debate wasn't going anywhere. Nobody was getting their points across. The only point that was getting across was, how dare you question any official news story? You're gonna hurt people's feelings. It's all about the feelings. See, they put these fucking stories out, they pull on your heartstrings. You wouldn't think for 1 minute that it didn't actually happen. And anybody saying shit like that is just a cold-hearted, callous bastard, right? I mean, that's the dynamic of the situation. That's how it's made. It's done like that on purpose. So when I started figuring out that shit, I started going back to other events, you know, old events, and they all fall into like the same categories. There's all this weird, unexplainable shit. A lot of times you have either a problem with the timeline where it's like, how the hell did they get there so fast? You know, like, there's just so much. And the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that this debate did nothing but hurt the whole cause for, you know, conspiracies and flat earth and all that, which I fucking hate that word. The definition of a conspiracy is two or more people planning to violate laws or civil liberties or your property, like, you know, so these people that are violating the law of the land by killing their own citizens, and, you know, you can only kill me once, right? It's the mental effect that it has on generations to come that you can't undo. You know, like this Amy girl on this, I wish I knew her last name, but all I know is that I'm pretty sure that the whole radio show that he was talking with was like a paranormal radio show. So these people are open to paranormal events, but, you know, don't you dare question the official story. You know? And Jaron's like, yeah, I know. 2 years ago I would have agreed with you, but now, you know, I'm in the category where people will call you stupid and a retard. As soon as he said the word retard, 2 fucking people just pounced on him for using that word. All right? Do you see what they have done to us? They have caused us to police ourselves with this fucking bullshit. Right? So I say the word nigger. I say the word faggot. Right? Oh my God. Kill him. Did you hear what he just said? You know, I don't run around and use those words, you know, but I have. You know, I mean, racism is a seed that gets planted. Nobody's born racist. So if your upbringing is racist, it stands to reason that it's going to be hard for you to get out of that pattern of behavior if that's how you were brought up. And that's on both sides. That's black, white, whatever. Nobody likes anybody else. And it's true. Why don't you ask any Puerto Rican what they think about Dominicans and vice versa? Ask any Mexican what they think about Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and vice versa. Ask them. Ask them. I'll wait. Right? So this is not just like, it's just fucking so stupid. Why can't we see that we're being distracted, like heavily distracted? This whole conversation I was listening to last night just went right down the fucking toilet on both sides because, first of all, nobody can even talk. People are gonna start hurling insults. Nobody wants to let anybody finish talking, so nobody really gets their point across. You'll get the beginning of your point, then you get jumped on because people are assuming what you're gonna finish saying. And it's just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. Part of me is like, they're doing it on purpose, man. All of them. All of them. These flat earth leaders, which actually turns my stomach to even think of them as that. Look, man, there's other outside of the box things that can be done. You know, I really don't think there's any debate. Why even waste your fucking time with a debate? Who wants to argue with somebody that is on there? You're not gonna change their mind. Nobody's changing anybody's mind, right? But it's like what these guys are trying to say is, do your own research. The information is out there to be found. If you're gonna go with the official story and you're just gonna hold fast to it and be like, no, that's what happened, well, that's on you, all right? You're not gonna call me a fucking asshole because I have the wherewithal to be like, man, something ain't right about this. Let me just look into some of the details. You know, because, you know what, you want to find out some things about some things. Take a look at what the foreign news will tell you about our domestic issues. You could learn some things because they don't have the same type of like censorship that's in effect. And when it comes to the censorship thing, I can clearly see that. I'm not Trump, Hillary. I'm not even voting. I'm not even for voting. How am I going to vote for somebody that I'm pretty sure they're both fucking liars? Why am I going to vote for either one of them? What if my vote is the one vote that actually puts a monster in office or something? Not that it would be, since they don't count. But if they were, you know, regardless, doesn't matter. Does not fucking matter. The shit's all predetermined. But I'll say this: if you want to put up a video shitting all over Donald Trump, you can do that. If you want to put up a video shitting all over Hillary Clinton, you better look the fuck out. For one, your video probably won't make it. Lots of videos are getting taken down, copyright strikes, all kinds of stuff. Like, when I was a kid, the teacher told me that this country was great because you could speak out against the government. See, as a kid, I said whatever I wanted because I was raised by people that called it like they seen it and said whatever they wanted, said what was on their mind. So it was a completely foreign concept to me when a teacher said, do you know that there are other places in the world where you can get in trouble for speaking out against the government? Like, that always stuck with me. There's an old movie, I believe it's partially based in fact, but it's a fictional story. It's called Gulag. It's about the Russian Gulag system, and it's about this guy who was like an Olympic runner. He was American. He went to Russia to participate in these Spartaka games that they had, their version of the Olympics. Somebody approached him and said, I have a story that I want you to get west to the US about the oppression here and the things that happen here. I have a story I want you. It turns out it was a setup. As soon as he got the story in his hands, he was grabbed by the KGB, put in the Gulag system. They gave him 10 fucking years for being for espionage, for being a spy. In the movie, he escapes, right? But at the end of the movie, they had said, and this movie was made in the 80s, and they had said there was thousands of people that were still in the Gulag system based on their religious beliefs alone. You know, and none of that really mattered to me up until the last couple of years ago. Like, I always had a little bit of respect for like the people out in Russia that I used to hear of, the Crusaders that would smuggle Bibles into Russia. I always thought that was kind of cool because you're risking your life to bring like the word of God to somebody that wants it, like pretty honorable shit, even somebody like myself who's not into any sort of religion of any kind, mainly because of all the fucking sitting, standing, and all the, just the stupid rules and the bullshit. Just the bullshit, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You know when you're doing wrong. You know when you're lying to somebody. When you do something and you can cause the pain in their eyes and you can see it, you cause that pain, cut it out. The fuck, man, Stop. But, hey, listen, man, it's just going to be more of the same. There's going to be more and more of these stupid-ass debates. First of all, 8-hour hangouts. What the fuck are you all talking about in an 8-hour hangout? Sounds to me like you're just trying to grab 8 hours out of somebody else's time. Time not spent looking into the real facts so that you are armed with the real knowledge of, or at least a half a fucking clue as to what's going on. Because none of the information that we're taking in is 100% accurate. None of it. The only thing that's 100% accurate is that we are lied to on a daily. That is 100% accurate. The nature and details of all those lies, man, good luck. Could be anything. Could be anything. Even the most benign of things. Could be just a devious setup for the future, for generations later. Not even something you might not even understand right now. They have a profound understanding of what people's understanding is going to be in 20, 30 years because they're changing and shaping that shit right now. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It ain't you that they give a fuck about. It ain't me that they give a fuck about. It's the kids. They're after the kids. The kids are the ones that they have to control later. Scary business, man. Scary business. I'll even go as far as to say that if I had a fucking real clue in the beginning, when I started making these videos, I probably wouldn't have made a single fucking video. Because all I've really done is just put my face out there for everybody to know what I look like. Y'all know exactly where I stand. So I had this kid in real life the other day, desperately trying to get me to forgive him for what he did. And I said, look, man, I don't hate you, but get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out. He said, I've told you, just within the past few months of talking to me, you know how I feel about this shit. You know how I fucking feel about dishonesty. Especially directly to my face, Oh, well, I'll just tell him this to get that. Because he's stupid enough to believe it. Yo, that shit bothers me more than anything. Somebody thinking that I'm just so stupid that I'll believe them. So what do? I play along. I'll let you just dig that hole. But you better believe when I call you out on it, you have no recourse. There is nothing. There's no I'm sorry. There's no please just let me explain. No. I wouldn't have done that to you. I wouldn't have fucking done that to you. So I don't know, man. You guys, I really have. I got nothing to say. I got no advice. No advice. I'm just I'm back to being a little more focused on the events that are going on versus the big lie. I understand the big lie. I understand the dynamic of the big lie. I'll always talk about the big lie. But you can't even start with the big lie, like that's what last night I'm listening to this thing and I'm like, these people are never gonna get it. But one, they don't want to. They're too focused on Jaren and everybody else. They're crazy. That's what they're focused on. These crazy people. Why do they believe this? Why? Right? They'll keep asking that question, but they won't fucking listen to them when they tell them why they believe this. Yo, that shit's on purpose, man. Come on, you got your own radio show, paranormal at that, right? And you're gonna tell me you're not open-minded enough to sit down without interrupting listen to a few things that are being said. Shit, you're on radio together. You know what I mean? While they talk, you could literally be looking these things up and kind of, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Instead, the bitch is like, well, let me explain why you don't know. You know what I mean? Basically just telling Jaren, okay, who has done his research, one way or the other. I mean, I've listened to the man talk. He's not stupid. And he makes a lot of sense, right? This girl is like, see, you just don't know how it works. You just don't know. You just don't understand. If you go down to the planetarium, you look through a telescope, then you'll understand. And it's like, that's day one shit. You don't even get into the debate. You already have that discussion before you get into the debate. That's not something that you fucking tell this man. You tell him to go look through a telescope. You don't think he's looked through a fucking telescope? Bitch. Yes, that Amy girl. Fucking bitch. Paid. I'm pretty fucking sure she's paid. You're either paid or you're just so goddamn stupid and indoctrinated that there's no seeing over the top for you. The very fact that 9/11 went on exactly the way they said it is. And the very fact that, it does sound outlandish that they could, fake a school shooting. But the evidence does seem to show that they have faked a school shooting. I don't remember the case, but there was a case where the father of the shooter, the father of the so-called shooter, was like literally, I think he was standing right behind Hillary. I'm pretty sure Hillary was there with her big fucking fake ass smile, and this dude was like right behind her in a VIP area, pretty much. Big smile. Like, what does that tell you? It's the father of a supposed mass shooter, and I can't remember the details. Just something that I saw, but you could find it, I'm sure. Somebody will know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I haven't made a video in a little while. In the few that I have made, I'm basically saying that I'm pretty sure most of the big subs, the big people with the big subs and the big info, I think that most of them are all part of this plan. If you want to call it a psyop, call it a psyop, whatever you want to call it, they are part of the plan. That I'm convinced of. They might not have all started out as part of it, but I'm pretty sure they're all part of it now. They've either been approached and threatened, or they've been approached and paid. I'd say the second one, probably. Maybe some veiled threats in the background, but I think that some of it is basically like, look, you can talk about NASA all you want, but don't you go any further than that. Don't you talk about who? Because you won't hear any of these people talk about who. I'm not even going to say the channel that I like to watch that actually will tell you about who. And you're probably never really going to hear me talking about who. Because, hey, I'll be the first to tell you, these people make me nervous. And if the power structure is the way that I think it is, and a lot of us think it is, I don't even have a course of action. I know that somebody like me, who could very easily be smeared, just look at my criminal record, for Christ's sakes. It's right there for anybody to see. So it wouldn't be hard to, and that's what they do. That's what they do. This whole computer algorithm that you type into when it's fucking YouTube or Google, all those programs, they have programs within, bots, programs within that develop a profile on you. They use everything that you look up, probably everything that you talk about, keywords in your videos like right now, to develop a profile on you. And I'll tell you one thing, if you are the one little person that's saying some real shit, like I said, if you're hurting them, they're gonna stop you. There has to be another way. There has to be an official narrative about the opposition that gets handed down from generation to generation in oral tradition, just like it used to be. Be the only way. Because you can't have stuff on a database to have people go look, because if you ever read 1984, Winston's job was to change the news. That was his job. And those jobs exist. Those jobs exist today. Matter of fact, the Ministry of Truth, the Ministry of Love, all those places exist today. They don't go by those names, but they do exist. They're just running under a different name now. That's all that is. So, it is interesting how throughout history in times of war, a lot of Christian and Baptist churches and stuff would get destroyed, but not the Catholic. That one man that's just completely infallible and unquestionable. If I was doing dirty, I would love it if everybody thought I was fucking unquestionable and infallible. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit on this channel and fucking start screaming out names of big groups and people, because they can shut me down quick. And you know what? It ain't gonna make a fucking lick of difference, except for in my personal life, when they come through and actually point that fucking finger at me and decide to turn my whole fucking situation upside down. Wouldn't be hard. You know, maybe that's why I'm saying it out loud, you know. All you guys out there that are real people, you know, you go to a real job every day and you have real concerns, just watch out. Watch where you're getting your information, man. Fucking try to get your information from a broad spectrum and then take what you want out of that. Always knowing that what you think you know, there's such a good chance that it could be completely false. And that's like scary, you know. So to go ahead and make any big moves and decisions based on something that you heard from somebody else, that's where you start getting into that scary gray area where you could make a mistake, you know. Could fuck around and make a real mistake. You fuck around and stumble onto the real thing too. You'll know if you were right when you start talking about it, and the next thing you know, you fucking, well, lots of fucked up shit is happening with your bank accounts or with your job. Like, it happens. Or your hard drive. You know, that's another one right there. You're gonna get on the computer and shout about how the people that are basically running the computer want to destroy you, and then wonder why some fucked up shit happens to you via the computer. Oh, I'm in such a fucking great mood and I don't know why, but I'll take it. Peace, guys. Oh, 3:33. No, 33:33. I better not hit stop right now. Okay, all right, I'm past it.